Hello! It's time again for another Let's Build Minecraft Lego. And this time we're doing set number 21120. And it is the Minecraft like snow hut, snow biome with shooting snow golem action in Kung Fu grip. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Again, as always, as you can see on the back here, I've got a little business. As always, we're gonna do a little Q&A. I'm using the questions from the last episode. So if you have questions for the next one, which will be the last one that we do for a little while, just leave them in the comments below. Now I will pick the best questions and I will do them up. All right? Sound good? All right, let's get started, shall we? All right. Time for a third round of Q&A with you guys. Okay, so let's hit the hard-hitting questions. I wanted to. These are questions that the first couple I've answered before, but it's like definitely the most common questions that I get. So I figured, hey, let's go ahead and answer them, get them out of the way. How did I meet my wife? So I met my wife in college 20 years ago. So I'm 40 now, my wife's 40. We met when we were 20. I saw her, it was the end of my sophomore year, maybe? And yeah, that seems about right. End of my sophomore year, and I had just broken up with a girl, and I saw my beautiful bride walk across the courtyard of school. And she was with the basketball player. She was walking with a basketball player. Huge 7-foot dude. Huge. And I didn't even notice him. I just noticed her. And I said to myself, that is the girl for me. I don't know what her name is. I don't know where she's from. But that is the girl for me. When school starts up in the next semester, I'm going to introduce myself to her. And we're going to go out on a date. And so I thought about her all summer long, and then fall came. I saw her moving back into the dorms, and basically I stalked her and found out that I had a friend who was staying in the dorms right next to her, and so like I hung out in front of her dorm with my guitar, because that's how you pick up girls, fellas. That's how you do it. With my guitar. And she had just gotten back from tennis practice, and she's like, oh, hello. And I was like, hello. And she's like, can you play something popular? Because she had a pretty thick accent back then. And so I played a Beck song, and she was like, I don't know what song that is. But after that, like, that was kind of my in. So I started talking to her more, and we were two completely different people. Like, I was an electrical engineering student, a total, computer nerd. She was in sports. She was very European. I was very American. Everybody thought it was a big joke when we started dating, that there was no way it was going to work out. But hey, 20 years later, it's just like we're first love. It hasn't changed. I love her more now than I did when I first met her. So, yep, that is that. Will you guys have kids? So, we're 40 now. Well, let's back up. So, we've tried, we wanted to have kids, but neither one of us have been, like, dying to have kids. But it's like the thing you do. You fall in love, get married, pop out a baby, right? But there's something wrong. Like, we've gone to doctors and stuff like that, and it's called unexplained infertility. And so, like, we both technically test out okay, but for some reason, like, it just doesn't happen. And, we talked about some of the different fertility treatments and stuff, and it just got to the point where it felt like that was pushing life forcing life in a way that it wasn't supposed to happen. And we're big fans of just kind of like, go with the flow, everything happens for a reason type of thing. And I think it's fine. Like, we're both fine with it. And actually, I feel like we wouldn't be where we are today and enjoying life in the way that we do and experiencing the things that we're experiencing if we did end up having kids. So, I mean, she's my kid and I'm her kid. and then we have a little Rasputin. So no, I mean, we're perfectly fine. But kids in our future, no, it's not going to happen. What happened to Mindcrack? Did you leave? So for those of you who don't know, myself, BOO, Etho, Paul Soares Jr., and the Gems are no longer members of Mindcrack. This happened the first part of April, and so the nuts and bolts of it is it got to a point where they asked us to sign a legal agreement. It was marked as a trademark agreement, but there was a lot of other stuff within it that, you know, I knew that this type of stuff was happening. I knew that, you know, they were trying to make a network, and you guys know how I feel about networks. But I was like, you know, they can do their thing, and I'll just kind of, I joined Mindcrack to hang out with people, especially B-dubs, but to hang out with people that I know and that, you know, I respect and I'm friends with. And I'm not really in it to be like a corporation. And so it got to the point where they said, all right, well, this is the official, you have to sign this trademark agreement or you can't be considered a member of Mindcrack. And so I said, me and the 4 other folks were like, nah, it's not for me. It's not what I want to do. And so I didn't sign it, and they said, okay, you can't be an official member. And I said, okay. And, you know, it's no hard feelings. I'm still friends with all the people in the group that I was friends with before. So it ain't no biggie. You know, I could technically play on the Mindcrack server, but no one plays on the Mindcrack server, so it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, so that's it. I am not a member. I wasn't kicked out. It's just Mindcrack was a change-in, and they're becoming more of a corporation, and that's not something I want to do. So I am not a member. Gemini is, so that's the main ones. Those are the main questions everybody asks. So there you go. Those are the ones. Gemini is Plays asks, will you be trying any streaming when YouTube opens their new streaming site this summer? Yeah, and actually I think I'll probably do that instead of Twitch. For those of you who don't know, YouTube is launching a new gaming site. It's gaming.youtube.com, and it's gonna be gaming specific. And so like you search for things, you'll be able to search by video game, you know, instead of like trying to work with like YouTube's SEO and stuff, or YouTube search engine and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really cool, and they're gonna have supposedly a really kick-ass streaming platform that lets you stream in 60 frames per second. It's got like almost no lag, and then it uploads directly to YouTube and stuff like that. So I definitely will be at least trying it out to see how it is. I'm not gonna guarantee I'll have a schedule or anything like that, but I will try it out. Let's see, Zerkon 092. I've always been interested in becoming a YouTuber, but one thing that has turned me away is the copyright stuff. How have you dealt with that? For instance, I know there are partnerships or networks to protect you against that, but what about when you're starting out and don't have a network? Also, have you ever gotten a strike for copyright? All right, so the one thing I want to first say, networks do not protect you from copyright. It's one of the biggest lies of networks. You guys who have been watching me for any period of time, you know I am adamantly against networks. They are all cheating. They're all liars. And I know that's some harsh words, and every network is this way. They take 30% of your revenue, but that's 30% of the 55% that you get. So it's way more than 30%. So you actually only make like, someone did the math, it's like out of the amount of money, like you only make like 17% of your revenue or something stupid. It's ridiculous. But the things that they cannot do, they do not help you with copyright stuff. No different than like you can file a dispute right on YouTube whenever you get a copyright. I've gotten tons of them. I got 3 of them on Lego Jurassic World, and I've had 2 of them on Batman just for recent ones. And it's just because YouTube has a very stupid copyright checking program in place, and there's nothing you can do about it. If you had a network, the best you would do is you would email them, and they would say, okay, and then they would just fill out the copyright claim that you could do yourself. So it's completely stupid. So I look at it as it's an inevitable part of, an unfortunate part of the whole YouTube game. You just have to say, okay, this one got pegged. I'll file a dispute. Sometimes it gets removed immediately. Sometimes it takes the full 30 days. And then that's just, you go, all right, well, I'm not making any revenue off of that one for this time. You won't get, one thing to keep in mind, copyright strikes is not, it's not a community strike against your channel. Like, it's not going to shut down your channel if you get a copyright strike. It just means like, hey, you use some stuff that's actually claimed by another company, and so they either said you can't make money on it, or they're going to make the money instead, or whatever. But it cannot shut down your channel. You have to do something really, really bad to get what they call a community strike on your channel. So yeah, so I wouldn't worry about that. Definitely do not sign up for a network. You do not need it. I promise you. The things that they say, higher revenue for ads, is a bunch of BS. All of it is complete lies. None of it justifies the 30% that they take from you. It's like the mob. It's unbelievable that they get away with it. But I digress. What do you do with your Lego creations after you build them? I give them away. I'm trying in my office. I'm trying to keep it pretty clean and somewhat. I'm going for a theme. I'm going for like the gentleman's bar, the old timey like cigar lounge type thing, and a bunch of Legos laying around doesn't really gel with that. So I've got a neighbor who he's a little boy and he loves Legos, so sometimes I give it to him. My cleaning lady has a grandson who loves Legos, so I'll give it to him. I would do some kind of sign them and give them away and stuff, but it's really difficult in Bulgaria. The mail system is terrible, and it's just way too much hassle. So yeah, I just give them away. Tim Luckley asked, how is Mamo doing? Are you guys going to do another GTA session or racing game? She's doing good. She has other than cancer, she has a problem with her jaw, and she's been going through some tests on that. And it's got an infection on it, and the antibiotics, they gave her the wrong type, and yada yada. So she's been in a lot of pain lately on her jaw. And so I haven't really wanted to do anything with her because I don't want to push her to do stuff. She's talked about it, but I'm waiting for that to get kind of cleared up. And then I'm thinking we'll play a game like, what's that? Beam NR racing or something, beam racing, where it's like really realistic with the crashes and stuff. I might do that, or that dirt rally game, or Cars, Project Cars, or something. We'll find something that may be a little more fun for her instead of like driving around in traffic. Let's see here. Mountain Dew Mania asks, have you ever had a dream about one of the games you've played? Were you playing the game in your dream or actually in the game? I've had tons of Minecraft dreams, that's for sure. Especially when I'm trying to come up with a certain quote unquote invention, contraption, and I'm trying to work it out in my head. I'll have dreams about that. When I was a kid, there was this game, and it was like a 3D Pac-Man with these smiley faces. And I can't remember the name of the game, but it was on the Game Boy. And I remember playing that so much that the image was almost burnt into my eyes. So when I closed my eyes, that's all I could see. And I actually had trouble sleeping that night because I had just bought it and I played it like all day long. And I couldn't rest my head because all I was doing is like close my eyes. I'm literally in the game. It was That was the last time I played that game for so long. Let's see. Green Meerkat asks, what are you going to do when you hit 1 million subscribers? I don't know. I want to do something really cool. People have said draw my life, but that seems that's kind of done to death, and I'm telling you guys a lot about my life anyway. You guys know I've moved around and you know, how I met my wife and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's really something that I would do, but I do feel like there would be something I could do that would be fun for 1 million subscribers. So if you guys have any ideas, you let me know in the comments below. Let's see, Darren McLeod. During your trip to China with your wife while testing all the different foods, what was your favorite food and your least favorite? So my favorite food, we stayed at this little hotel in Yangshuo, which is like all these beautiful mountains. I still have to upload the video on that. I will. We stayed at this place and they had an organic garden right next to it, and so you could get stir-fried vegetables, and we had pumpkin vine? No, sweet potato vine, water spinach, and some other type of vine, and they would stir fry it with like garlic and stuff. And then we got fish, and literally we saw all the seats were outside because the weather is like awesome. So we're sitting outside, and literally we saw the fishermen come up with a little bag with our fish flopping around in there. And it's like a catfish, a type of catfish that they have. And so they did a steam stir fry type of thing with a bunch of garlic and ginger and chili peppers and stuff. And it was the best fish I've ever had. And I've lived on the coast quite a bit in my life. I've had a lot of seafood, and that was the best fish I've ever had in my life for sure. And it was catfish of all things. The worst is our last night, or second to last night, we were in Hong Kong, and we just decided to eat at the hotel, and they had a Japanese restaurant, sushi restaurant, and it was kind of a fancier one. It was like a fixed price, you know, so many courses menu, and they gave us these appetizers, and there's these little baby squid, and they were like grayish color, and I popped one in my mouth because I'm adventurous. You guys know me. Popped one in my mouth, and I bit into it, and it exploded, and it was like a bad egg. It was like a rotten egg, and I was so grossed out, and I couldn't spit it in my napkin or anything because it was nice napkins, and so I just had to swallow it whole, and it was disgusting. Like, I still have nightmares about it. It was so bad. Ruben S. asks, what do you think about the subscription feature that YouTube is adding in the near future? So for those of you who don't know, YouTube is going to add this feature where you can pay per month, and from what I understand, you could do paid channels. So like B-Dubs has one, and I almost had one, and then it only worked for like America, so I was like, screw it. But it used to be you could subscribe to a channel and not get ads on that channel. Now I think you can, or eventually you'll be able to have a YouTube Professional or YouTube Pro subscription, and you don't get any ads at all. And I think that's cool. I think that will entice a lot of people to do it. I think for me, like, what that means is nothing. I think they're figuring it out where if you're a subscriber, like a paid subscriber, and you watch my videos, you don't get any ads, but it treats it like you got an ad. And so I would get paid the same amount as if you saw an ad. I think that's how it's going to work. So I think it's awesome. Potential. I'm a big fan of going to something that's not completely ad based. So yeah, power to them. And finally, speaking of ads, Lollypants Fun Shorts asks, does ad block really block you from getting the money you deserve? Yes, 100% yes. And I've mentioned that before, but it always bears repeating. If you use ad block, the ads are not displayed on the video, and that is 100% how I get paid, through YouTube. So if an ad was supposed to get displayed with you and it doesn't, I don't get any compensation for it whatsoever. Like YouTube doesn't go, well, I was supposed to, but it didn't, so not my fault. It doesn't work that way. An ad block is a generic B block. It's a YouTuber block. And there are ad blocks out there. I understand why you don't want a bunch of ads everywhere, and I don't use any. You could see that from my Agario episodes. I got ads all over that stupid thing. But when it comes to YouTube, definitely I think there's a whitelist feature on a lot of those ad blocks that you can whitelist YouTube or whitelist the channels that you watch and stuff like that. I definitely recommend that you do, because that is the smallest bit that we ask, is you guys are enjoying the free content that we give you. Watch an ad, just so we can put bread on the table, as they say. But that is it for me for these round of questions, and it looks like I'm just about ready to be finished with the build. So take it away, me. All right, so this one's actually really cool. I like this one quite a bit. My favorite part about this is these little kind of ice cubey sort of things. I love clear Lego. Like the glassy type of Lego is my favorite. So, and then this is a really nice little, like, kind of shows the water is freezing over. It's very cool. So you've got the snowman up on top, snow golem, and he has dual shooty arms. So let's see, I'll aim at the camera. Bow! And I will never find that Lego piece again. He's got two. They give you, looks like I've got 3 extras to use as little bullets in case you lose them. Got a little tiny bucket for some water. Very cool. Of course, you got Steve as you go. Got a nice little creeper action going on. Really cool how they did the snow tops on the pine trees. I think that's really nifty. Back here, you can actually open it up, and so you can put your little guy in there like this, like a little igloo. And he'd be like, I'm just crafting. I'm crafting up my stuff and keeping warm because of the fire. And then, of course, you can close that up, and you got your little door. So you see the dude in there. Pretty cool. Pretty awesome. And then finally, we've got this little guy, which is like a avalanche type thing. So you can put your guy on there that you want to get, and you just kind of hit it right here, and you go, and all these little snow blocks fall out. I think that's really cool. When I was building it, I was like, what in the world is this gonna be? And then I discovered it. So that's really cool. Oh. Really awesome. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. This has been Stoink. This one right here. Set 21120. The snow igloo. I'm gonna call it the igloo. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to have me answer your questions, just leave them in the comments below. And but that's gonna about do it for me. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take care. Brush your hair. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.